Hey fam, welcome back to Tari's Lifestyle and Vlog, and thank you so much for stopping by. So in today's video we're going to be talking about the financial requirements for a UK spouse visa application. So the new financial requirements for the UK spouse visa application. Okay, but before I go on, my name is Tari, and on this channel we'll talk about UK visas and immigration. We'll talk about life in the UK, how to safely and successfully travel to the UK. We also talk about how to navigate through life as an immigrant living in the UK. If this sounds like something you're interested in, then please subscribe, turn on your bell icon so you don't miss out on any of my videos going forward. And to my returning subscribers, thank you all for always coming back to watch my videos. I appreciate every single one of you. Thank you so much. Okay, so like I said before, today we're talking about the new financial requirements for a UK spouse visa application. Okay, so we know that before you can apply for a spouse visa in the UK, if you want to come and join your spouse in the UK, there are certain requirements that you need to meet. One of them is the fact that your spouse must be a resident in the UK, i.e. they must have permanent residence in the UK, and or they must be British citizens. Okay, so I've done a video about this before with all the details, which I'll link up here for your information if you want to have a better understanding of the process. Okay, one of the things that's often required if you want to apply for a spouse visa application is that you need to meet the minimum financial requirements. And you heard me right. So yes, there's a minimum financial requirement that you and your spouse need to meet. So you need to have a combined income of a certain amount for you to be able to apply and get the visa successfully. Okay, so the new financial requirement has increased. So it used to be 18,600. So if you want to apply for a spouse visa, you and your spouse must have a combined income of 18,600 prior to the 11th of April. But going forward from the 11th of April, which means from now that I'm making this video, if you're applying for a UK spouse visa, yourself and your spouse must have a combined income of £29,000. So yes, you heard me right. You must have a combined income of £29,000 for you to be able to get the visa. So if you're applying as a new spouse, if you're applying newly, however, if you're applying to extend your visa, so if you're already on the spouse visa in the UK and you're wanting to extend, then your requirement will be the old one, which is 18,600. I know that will be a relief for a number of people. So if you're already in the UK under a spouse visa and you're wanting to extend, you still need to meet the old requirement. But if you're new and you're applying from the 11th of April, then you must meet the new requirement, which is £29,000 between the both of you. It's important to know that if your spouse is receiving benefits of any kind, then they don't have to, or you both don't have to meet the financial requirements. Otherwise, if they're not on any sort of benefits, then they must you both must meet the requirement. So what counts as income that you can use to prove your financial means, okay, to prove that you actually meet the requirements? Okay, so I'm gonna read from my iPad for you so you can have a look, so that you can know what I'm talking about. So it should be income from employment before tax, which should be your pay slip or your P60. Okay, so you can also use money from self-employment or as a director of a limited company. Okay, so those are the kind of incomes that you can actually use. Okay, you can use cash savings above £16,000. So if you have cash savings above £16,000, you can actually use that. Money from pension. So if you are receiving pension of any kind, or if your partner is receiving pension, you can use that. Money from non-work income, for example, from property rentals or sales dividends dividends, property rentals or dividends. So these are the kind of income that you can actually use to prove you meet the requirements. Okay, so what can you use? So these are the money that we can use, but what documents do you actually need to prove your financial income? So the number one, I've mentioned this in my previous video before, but I'm just going to go through it. So bank statements showing your income. Okay, you need pay slips for 6 months, letter from your employer. So if you're employed, then you should be able to get a letter from your employer to prove that you actually work in that company. If you're using money from savings, then you should also have the savings in your bank account. So we need bank statements for that. And if you are using money from employment, then you should have a self-assessment tax return that will show the money that you've actually received. So these are just some ways that you can actually prove your financial means, that you actually meet the financial requirements of a spouse visa application. Well, I hope this video has been helpful. If it has helped you, give it a thumbs up, share with your friends and family, and of course subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so. But thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in my next video.